In this tutorial, I'm going to explain how you can create infographic style charts using Excel. I'm going to show you how to create two different charts. First one is a column chart. Second one is a donut chart. For this practice, we're going to create this chart, which is your favorite. There's a link here to the Excel spreadsheet I'm going to use. Got very basic information, which is your favorite ice cream flavor. I'm going to highlight these cells, go to Insert, and insert a 2D column chart. Now what we're going to do is format this chart to make it look more like an infographic style. First thing I'm going to do, go to Insert, and I'm going to insert a shape. You can choose any shape. Just bear in mind, some of these shapes work better on infographic style charts than others. This one works really well. This is a cylinder. I'm just going to draw in my cylinder. And you want to make it about the same size as the tallest column. Okay, about like that. So what I'm going to do is just click on this cylinder, right-click to copy, click on my chart. And what you want to look out for is, are there 4 little dots in the corner of each column? If there are, what you can do then is on your keypad, just go Control-V to paste. There we go. So what I've done now is pasted that cylinder and replaced the plain columns with this cylinder. What I'm going to do now, just click on those cylinders, and if you right-click, you want to go to Format Data Series. This is for this option here, Series Options. I'm going to go to Gap Width. I want to make that gap width much lower. And as I reduce the gap width, you can see that the cylinders get wider. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to format the chart background. Just click on the chart. You'll see there's a cross at the top, giving you the chart elements. I want to get rid of the chart title, and I want to get rid of the grid lines. I'm going to add one axis title. Here, I want this to say percentage. But I don't want this axis title. I'm going to get rid of that one just by deleting it. Now I want to format the chart background. Just click on the main square of the chart. So it's highlighted outside. Go to Format, Shape Fill, and I'm going to select No Fill. So that's just a transparent background now. Now I'm going to format some of the text. Let me just click this title here with the ice cream flavors. Go to Home, and I'm going to select a different font and increase the size. Same here with the numerical information. Change the font and size, and image as well. Change the font and size. Okay. So at the moment, all these columns are blue, but I want to put them in different colors. So I'm going to represent the different flavors with different colors. So first of all, let's pick a strawberry color. Go back to your base cylinder, shape format, and I'm going to choose that dark red color. I'm also going to change the outline by just increasing the weight there to make the lines thicker. Let's click on that and copy. So now instead of highlighting everything, I just want to highlight the strawberry. If you click once, it highlights everything. Just click again on one of those columns and it's just selected that one column. Control V to paste, and that's pasted in the red color. I'll do the other colors now. I'm going to make that a vanilla color and copy. Make sure you've only selected one. Control V to paste, because PowerPoint tends to have a wider formatting. And all I want to do now is just make sure the main chart is selected. Copy. And now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. I've just got a plain slide in PowerPoint here. I've copied the Excel chart. And I'm going to paste it in. So there you go. That's your Excel chart. I'll put it about there. The final thing I want to do with this infographic is to add some icons. I'm going to go to Insert, Icons. Let's put in a strawberry, the strawberry flavor. Make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to change the color of this icon by going to Graphics Format and Graphics Fill. There we go. Now I'm going to do the other flavors with suitable icons. You could just type straight into here. I'm going to change this text so it matches the same font as I've used here and make it bigger. And I'm going to make this background of the shape black. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color of the slide. So you just go to Design, Format Background, and I'm just going to have a solid fill in pink. And there we go. That's the first infographic. That's column style infographic using Excel and adding icons. Moving on to part 2, creating an Excel donut chart. We're going to create something that looks a little bit like this, which is your favorite donut filling or topping. For this, you're going to need to go to the Excel spreadsheet. And for this donut chart, we're going to be using something slightly more complicated. We're going to be using some formulas. And here is a copy of the formulas that you're going to need. So let's go to the Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So I've gone to the donut spreadsheet. And you can see here, I've got my data. These are 4 different flavors or toppings that people prefer for their donuts. Before I start with that, I'm going to make a really basic donut. And to do that, you're going to need to insert some formulas. So here in the corner, I've just put 100 and 100 here, and 50% and 50%. Let's go a bit closer in. So to create these 50%, I put this formula in the top and this formula here in B2. So you've got a formula A1 and a formula A2, and you can copy that formula from the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and select just this B1 and 2. Go to Insert, and I'm going to insert a donut. So there you can see this donut chart. That is a basic chart with 50-50. And I'm going to just do a little bit of formatting to start with. I want to remove the chart title and remove the legend. I just want a very basic plain donut with no real information in there. I also, same as the previous charts, I just want to format it to remove the background and have no fill. Okay, there we go. So now I've got a basic donut. I'm going to do some formatting so we can insert the percentage in the middle here. So let's go ahead and do that. First thing I'm going to do is format some of the colors on this chart. So what I want is, I want to highlight the more important information. Highlight, so I just want to select, not the whole thing, I just want to select this blue section here. And I'm going to change the color here. You should have your format data sidebar open. If it's not open, you just right click and select their format data series. Okay. So here I can change the color. And I'm just going to make that gray because I want this to be less important and the B1 data to be highlighted as more important. I'm going to make my B1 data a different color as well. I'm going to make that hot pink. Okay, there we go. So let's move on and do a little bit more formatting. Next thing I'm going to do is make the donut a bit fatter. I want to make the hole smaller. So a little bit like we did with the column chart where we reduced the width. Here, series options. And you see there's an option there for the donut hole size. I'll make that smaller. That's a bit too small. I'm going to make it about 55%. Okay. So then we've got a little bit of a fatter donut there. The next thing I want to do is put some text in the middle of the donut, and I want to put that percentage metric. I'm just going to make the donut sort of a square shape. Okay, that looks good. Now the donut's ready, what we're going to do is insert this numerical information. So I want to represent the 50% inside the donut. Go to Insert and text box. Okay. When you're inside your text box, you need to go up to the formula bar, type in equals, and then click on B1. Once it's been highlighted, click back into your text box, and there you go, there's your 50%. What you want to do now is just double check that this text box is correctly linked to this cell. Okay, so one way you can do that is, I'm just going to go on that 50%, change it to 70. There you go, it's changed. So I know that that's already linked here. Okay. And I've just realized that I've actually got my colors the wrong way around, because I wanted this data to be highlighted. So I'm just going to swap that round. I'll just put that back to 50%. There you go. And just change my colors here. I'm going to make that one the gray and that one the pink. There we go, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to format this 50% just to change some of the colors and the font style. So I'm going to go to shape format, and I could just use a word art style like this. That looks nice. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to center it, and I'm also going to color it. What else can I do? I'll add a shadow. There you go. So that looks really nice. So I've got my 50% in the same pink. Okay. Next thing I have to do is duplicate this donut. And I want 4 donuts because I've got 4 different metrics that I'm looking at. Okay, I don't want that to happen. Click on the outside of your donut chart, hold down Control, and click on the 50% because you want all of this to be duplicated at the same time. To duplicate, you just go Control D. Okay, there we go. I want to make 4. I've moved these donuts around so that they're all in a row like this. Okay, so now I've got the 4 donuts to represent my 4 data, my set of 4 data. And what I need to do now is just change the metrics. So at the moment it all says 50%, and I need it to represent this data here. So one thing I want you to do, just to double check that this 50% here is linked to the data, just change this, say, to 1,000. And then, okay, yeah, it's changed the data there. Oh, I'm going to change that maybe to a different percentage. There you go. It's changed it to 20%. If that doesn't change, then that means you've done something wrong and you need to start again, because this text box needs to be linked to the data here. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I need 4 different donuts. So I'm going to copy and paste this information here over formula from these 4 cells and copied it out 4 times. If you look though, if I click on here and just highlight, you can see that the formula from this cell is still linked up here to A1 and 2. And what I want is this to say A4 sum, A4 and A5. Okay, and at the moment it says it still links to A1 and A2. So I need to change this. So a little bit tricky. I'll try and do it slowly. First of all, I'm going to click here on this top 50%. Click in the formula bar, and there it is. That's where it's linked. Okay, so it's highlighted it red. So you want it to look like this before you start moving anything. Highlighted this one before, and it's highlighted in red where the link is. Now this link, I drag it down, press enter. I click in the formula bar now, you can see this says A4 equals sum, and it's got here A4 and A5. try this one, you see again, look, it's got A1 and A2, so I need to change it. Click here, B5, click in the formula bar. It highlights this top A1 and A2 red, and I'm going to drag it down. Press enter. There you go. That's highlighted now, and you can see the formula says A4 and A5. I'll change this one next. So again, highlight, here I'm in B7, click on the formula bar until this lights up red, drag it down, press enter. Again here, click on formula bar, drag it down, enter. Let's check. Yeah, that's linked. A11, A12, A7, A8, A4, A5. So that's all perfect. Okay, so now I've changed these formulas. I need to link these formulas with my donut charts. So as you can see, because I just cut and pasted them all of these donuts link to the formula in this first 4 squares, first 4 cells. So what I need to do, I can leave that one there. That one's fine. This one, I want to change. So I want this donut to be linked with this formula here. So I'm going to drag that down. Okay, there we go. There you go. First one links here. Second one's linked here. Same with this one. That's highlighted. I'm going to drag that down to the third one. There you go. That one now links to number 3. And this one, drag it down. That now links to number 4. So we've got 1, 2, we've got 4 there. So one thing you might notice is this has pasted everything just back into the standard color format. So I need to recolor these other donuts. If you click in donut and Control-C to copy, go to the second donut. If you go to paste special and click on formats, that will just recolor all of these. Paste special, formats, paste special, formats. Okay, so now everything is the same and design style. So the last thing I need to do is to change these numbers and change them into my survey data. So first one, jam, 40%. There you go, that's changed for me. This one, sprinkles, 25%. What we're doing is just clicking on the top right cell of your little mini table and just putting in the new data. 20% and 15. My 4 little mini donuts. So all of these should link with the data here. So let's double check. Yeah, these are all linked. Okay, so I'm nearly finished. One last thing I want to do with this. At the moment, I've just got it all as a hot pink. That's really just to give you a sample of what this could look like. But same as with the donuts, what I want to do with this is just do a bit of different color. to represent the different donut flavors. So I've got jam, sprinkles, chocolates, and nuts. Okay, I'm going to just try to recolor this little bit here and make it into a jam color. So click and make sure you've just highlighted on this pink area here. I'm going to change the fill color to red. This one, make it a pinkish color. This one's going to be brown. This one's going to be, I don't know, some kind of nut color, light brown maybe. Okay, I'm also going to color in the font so it matches. I want that the same color. It's red. Pink. It's the wrong pink. I'm actually going to make the font just slightly darker, like a matching tone, but so it just looks a bit stronger. Last thing then I have to do is I'm going to copy these and put them into the PowerPoint spreadsheet. I'm going to group everything. Yeah, there you go. Everything's grouped, so it's all moving as one. That's perfect. And that means I can just copy the whole thing and paste it into the PowerPoint. So Control-C to copy. Pasted my donuts into a PowerPoint. And I think they look pretty good like that. You can leave them at that, or we can just go one extra and add some icons if you want. So if I want to add some icons, maybe I might just move these percentage text down a little bit. So possibly I could add some icons. I'm just gonna play around with this just to make it look really neat and nice. Okay, I just formatted the text a little bit and made these percentages slightly smaller and moved them down a little bit. I'll have the strawberry again. Final little things I'm going to do is put in some titles in text boxes. Okay, so I've just formatted my headings there so that they're in a matching color and they're all aligned nicely. Last thing I want to do is add in a title. So I'm just going to put it in a text box. Oops. It likes American spellings. Okay, I'll format that so it matches the other text. That's the one I used, make it a bit bigger. Make it that color. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is change the color. I'm going to make that a bit more transparent though, so it's a bit lighter. Okay, there we go. So, a bit more challenging, doing the donuts, a bit more of a process, but that looks really, really good. I'm really happy with that. So as I said in the beginning, you know, you can do different styles for different purposes. That's another example of a column. And another example of donuts using different kind of icons. Go ahead and have a practice. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.